555.
The 555 WRX, Colin McGray. That's a legendary.
That was when it was just a legacy, I think, is when they were racing that one.
Guys, we're back here again today with my good friend Tito right here. But we have his beautiful 04 WRX, Subaru WRX.
Yeah.
And how long have you had this? Because I know you've been having this for a while. There's been a lot of iterations of this.
I got it when I was 17, and I'm about 35 now. So, do the math, like 17, 18 years.
I got you.
I've had it a long time. I had it when I first got it, when it had 70,000 miles, and I'm at 250, somewhere around there.
So you're invested. Like, you're a real Subaru guy. Because I know throughout my whole life of knowing you, like, I know that you love Subarus.
Oh, yeah.
If I see you ever drive anything else but a Subaru, like it's not gonna look right.
Oh no, I'll definitely if I'm lucky enough, I'll definitely have a few toys. But no, this is plenty for me right now.
So first of all, let's start off in the front because I know these cars are getting rare. And one thing I want to point out is the pink symbol or emblem and like what that means, because I know some people might be first time new into Subarus.
So the pink in the logo and the STI logo, that goes back, I'm not really sure entirely, but that goes back to like 02, like STI early days.
Got you.
Back for the rally stuff. So if you see the pink badge, is like that's the STI pink.
Because the STI pink was used for a rally. It was like a very famous thing or popular thing. As far as like also with the World Rally Blue, I know a lot of people know the World Rally
Gold. That really made Subaru pop differently from all the other like liveries from all the other rally drivers.
Right.
The 555.
The 555 WRX, Colin McGray. That's a legendary.
That was when it was just a legacy, I think, is when they were racing that one.
Yep, and I think it was the legacy, and then the WRX came along, and I think that was like the new kid on the block, sort of technology-wise, lightness-wise, which is interesting because in rally there was like a entry level into rally at some point in the 60s and 70s was like rear-wheel drive dominated. And then like when it came to Subaru and Mitsubishi and Audi, they sort of kind of like brought in the all-wheel drive technology in the rally, and look where we're at now.
I think Audi was the first to do it. They had their Quattro system and just annihilated everybody. And they had a female driver, forget her name, I'm sorry, but she was racing the white Audi with like the yellow and black like color markings.
I think she was from Spain, right? Like she was one of the most famous drivers in Spain or France.
I'm not
or something
sure,
like that.
but I'm pretty sure she's not from here. But
right.
She was a beast. I just don't remember her name at the moment. But that Audi car is what really set off the all-wheel drive wars, really, between Mitsubishi and Subaru.
Definitely. Now let me ask you this question too. I guess while we're still at the grill right here, these two are those horns?
Yeah, those are the Hella horns.
Okay.
They're slightly louder than the ones I used to have. They just look cool. They're red. They used to be a little brighter red. It's a little old car now, but I got them new, and they just add to the look of the front end of the car.
Because I noticed a lot of Subaru people, or at least what I used to remember a couple years ago, like they used to run those.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're louder. They're supposed to be meant for like highway, plain stuff.
Okay.
They're a little bit more high pitched than the standard Subaru ones.
So rally spec. I mean, really rally spec, because you would have to, especially at nighttime. Next thing I know, I want to see you with all the fog lights, like the 10 fog lights right here, the big hella fog light.
I'll give you a horn test.
Okay. Oh yeah, that is loud. Yeah.
They sound a little different. It's more high pitched.
That's really cool.
Another hidden gem that most people might not realize is these are not WRX headlights or STI.
So these are, okay, wait. So these are not WRX.
They're not STI.
And they're not STI headlights. But hold on, what do you mean? They're blob headlights though. Oh, so they were on a different model.
Yes.
Okay.
They're from the Outback.
What?
Yeah,
these are Outback lights, because Outback, I mean, it's shares the same platform, right?
Yeah, Subaru makes, like, I don't know the exact percentage, but like 70 or 80% of the same parts go in every single car.
Got you.
So these came from the Outback, and the reason why I got these is that it's like a gunmetal gray, not chrome that the WRX would come with. And then the STI, I believe, had the black ones, black and chrome. I don't remember if that was an option or not, but these are the Outbacks are the only ones that have the gunmetal gray.
Wow. Well, guys, now you know that. Now, if you want to have gunmetal gray on your lights, and you have what is it? This generation 04 to
0405.
0405. You can go to get the Outback headlights. That's actually good to see. It
makes it look different. You'll look at mine in another WRX, you're like, why is it different?
Yeah, and
you won't really notice until you look at the headlights.
No, that's actually a cool little tidbit. This is why I love car guys.
And it's not like a custom thing. Like, there's so many companies now. Circuit Demon, I think, makes really good looking headlights. All sorts of LED, setups, honeycomb lights, you name it. But no, these are still like factory headlights. They just are different color. The bumpers are all the same except for here, where the WRX has these fog lights, but the STIs just have the fog light covers. Let's say like Subaru International Technica, whatever.
That is true. So why do you think, I mean, and maybe but why do you think that Subaru gave the STI no fog lights and just put fog light covers versus the WRX have fog lights? Like, it's a faster rally version. I mean, it's the ultimate rally version.
Maybe because with the actual rally cars, they have like a rally light.
Oh, I see.
Like for the WRX, the hood scoop's pretty small. But for the STI, it sits about like this high.
Okay, so this is a WRX hood scoop.
Yeah, that's the WRX hood scoop.
Okay, so
the STI sit like an inch taller, I think.
Okay, and for you guys that don't know,
and it's also wider.
And it's wider.
Yeah.
Well, air comes through here and it cools the top mount intercooler, correct? Because Subarus have top mount intercoolers. Well, yeah, we're going to see right now. But that's interesting because I think there might be aerodynamic benefits to that being lower as well too.
Yes, I think the taller ones give it more air, and if you look, the STI would finish about here. The WRX finishes here, so I do need to upgrade that eventually.
Okay.
Obviously, I've changed the intercooler because that's not a factory one.
You have to run a front mount, or can you run the top mount for a long time?
I think it's more of like a horsepower range. I've heard you don't want to really have more than 500 horsepower with the top mount because it's not able to cool it as efficiently.
Okay.
And everybody has, tech is so different now.
Yeah.
Turbos are so different now. Maybe you could, I don't know. But when I was doing my setup, I knew I wasn't going to break 500, so I'm good with this.
So I see a couple things. So I see I don't know if I want to say old school, but I feel like I'm supposed to say old school pairing. This is an elbow, right? Like intake, like turbo intake elbow?
I'm not sure what they call it. It's just a turbo inlet. I don't know if they call it like elbow too, like as a side name, but yeah. So I mean, I'll do a rundown of most of the parts I have if I can remember them.
Yeah, definitely.
I got the Bosch 20G XT turbo, and because I have that, I upgraded the injectors to 1000 IDs, HKS blow valve. I don't remember the brand of the intercooler, engine intake. So the motor's actually stock, and
okay.
I like it that way for now.
So this is a WRX.
This is a WRX 2 liter.
2 liter.
Yeah, this is a 2 liter.
And this is originally like a 04 motor. Is this from this generation?
Yeah. Well, the EJ20 platform. So the WRX and the BRZ and FT86, etc. They all have an FA motor.
Okay.
They're slightly different with everything else around it. The heads are different for the different cars. But the WRX, I think, moved from the FA20 to 25 after like 2 years or a year or two. So the WRXs have a 2.5 liter motor now, FA. The BRZs have the 2 liter, non-turbo. Yes and no.
Right.
So the EJ25 and the EJ20 are the exact same block. The only difference is the cylinders are different sizes, right? Because the cylinders are different sizes, the STI's wall, I forget what the material is, probably gonna get yelled at in the comments, but the actual strong material of the cylinder walls is a lot thinner than the cylinder walls in the 2 liters.
So okay, so
you
you're
can
saying
put more boost through
to the 2 liter.
To the 2 liter.
Okay, so you're saying that the coating on the lining of the cylinder wall or the cylinders,
it's a whole lot different.
It's a whole lot different.
Yeah, but like I said, the cylinder walls are very, very thick.
Because that also
they're not quite sleeved, but they're like very, very thick.
Okay, yeah, because that I noticed that also, because a lot of Honda guys as well, like I know that has a lot to go into how rigidity, like the structure of the block and how strong it is. All my cars for the most part have been iron block closed deck, so it's just one big piece of iron. Yeah. Yours is semi open with, like the 3 connections to the actual block from the circle cylinders. So yeah, okay. So since they can handle more power, like if this was a fresh, brand new motor, brand new rebuilt, or you bought it from the factory, how good or how much power, how much horsepower and torque is the block good for?
So I run 380 wheel horsepower and 420 torque on my E85 setup, and I've had this exact same setup for about 8-9 years now. No issues. I've changed out spark plugs because they were old, and oil changes. That's literally it for the motor that I've done in the last 8 years.
Wow.
I've heard of people having reliable WRX builds up into the 500-600 range.
Wow.
But obviously they changed out a bunch of stuff, especially that 5-speed that's in the WRX is glass.
Right.
That being said, now we can get to it. Mine's the 4E automatic, and the gears are pretty thick, so I didn't touch the gears, but I changed out the valve timing. I changed out the clutch pack to an upgraded one, and what else did I change out? Valve body, the torque converter.
Okay.
So it's a rebuilt transmission capable supposedly of handling 800 plus horsepower. Again, I haven't had any issues with my build since I've had it done, and I make half of that. So maybe it's capable of a lot more.
Well, this is interesting though, because I've noticed, I grew up, of course, with you too, but I just grew up in general with a lot of people that had WRXs or STIs. But most of the people that I've noticed that had the STIs, it was breaking sometimes. And so I'm just thinking now, I never knew that the EJ20 was actually, I guess, a stronger block as far as boost.
Yeah.
And like the makeup of the block and how it's made in materials. And so now it says a lot. So it's like, wow, that's why my friends that had WRXs was out here always boosting, and my friends that had STIs were like half the time broken down.
So the other issue that the boxer motor does have, and I had it in my previous motor, this is motor number 2 for me, the head gaskets are not the best. The head gaskets blow, and then that can cause a lot more issues, and then everything's going to disintegrate.
Right.
And that's for both platforms of the WRX and the STI. Like the heads, if you're going to rebuild your motor, make sure you get a really good head gasket. Don't go cheap with that stuff. Me personally, my exhaust gaskets are all from Grimspeed. Each one of those gaskets is like 30 to 50 bucks. Like I spent a pretty penny on all the gaskets everywhere I could. I do have the stock headers because I like that rumble, the WRX unequal length header noise.
Yeah, me too.
But from my header to my turbo, Grimspeed external wastegate. That helps with the turbo, that helps with tuning purposes, and makes fluttering noise as you're in it to win it.
Right.
And then full exhaust all the way back. So when I got the car, it had a different set of Koenigs. They were the standard size of 16 by 7.5.
Okay.
I don't know what brand, what actual type the wheel was. I just remember the size. But the Koenig brand, they make really lightweight wheels for cheap, and they're very, very durable for autocross, rallycross. I had XXRs afterwards that were about this size. This current setup I have is 18 by 10. They don't rub anymore,
which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. I've had to roll these fenders one too many times.
So okay, so these fenders are rolled. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
They're rolled and actually pulled out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking like, okay, is this WRX or am I? It's pulled out a little bit. Okay.
It's the factory part, but literally with muscle and grit, just pulled on them.
It's okay. So with it being like a 40R tire, like, is it with this like setup? Is the ride a little bit harsh? But I know you got the Fortune Auto coilovers on it, so it's like, does it balance out, or is the ride like, how is the ride on a daily basis?
The ride's pretty stiff. I actually run them pretty stiff. I don't max out my coilovers, but they're like 3 clicks less than full max. What else do I have? Tie rods are also polyurethane. The engine mounts are polyurethane. What else did I do suspension wise? Like, I have a cross member for the front tower. I don't have one for the back yet, but all these things made the body like super stiff.
Gotcha.
It's great for autocross. It sticks to the ground like no other.
Like, explain the all-wheel drive system in the WRX versus the STI. I know the STI has center diff and the WRX doesn't, correct?
I believe so, yeah. And the automatic's different than the 5-speed as well. I don't remember the 5-speed numbers, but the automatic is is it 55 to the back, and then 45 power to the front.
At all times?
At all times.
It never changes?
It never changes.
Okay.
But the STI can go anywhere, I believe, from 60 back and 40 front to 50-50. You have the little center diff button in the middle to do those changes.
So the side skirts, you said you did not know. Now, look, I'm telling you, I feel like these are Boom X. They might not be, but they remind me of like Boom X side skirts. Maybe... I
would have to look them up. I've never heard that name before.
Oh, Boom X. I think Boom X was big for Subarus, like BOMEX. I think they made like a lot of kits and a lot of side skirts. That's just what it looks like to me. And it's funny because this side skirt and this rim combination, it just is so WRX. It's so
I love the way it looks. I've had the car repainted and rust issues fixed. This is my most recently painted panel. I had classic Subaru rust issues all up in here.
Oh, so you took care of all the rust. So the Subarus usually rest in the rear wheel wells,
either back here or back here.
You know, as much as the front is iconic when it comes to Subarus, I would argue that in these generations, the rear of the Subaru was just as iconic as the headlights. Matter of fact, maybe
because everybody got to see them.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there you go. Okay, talk your stuff right here. But this is true. So one of my favorite taillights of all time, JDM taillights, and they're so simple, but what makes them beautiful, I don't know if it was the Skyline influence or whatever, I mean, as far as in my head, but just that little circle right there, it's just, I forget what they used to call these. There was a name for the taillights. They used to have a name, but I can't remember what they were called.
I don't remember. Because I always think of them like as angel lights, because like
they do look like angels.
Yeah, you got the light here and then like a wing out back, but the angel eyes are the the next generation. Exactly. The 06s, 07s. So I don't really know if there's a legit name for these headlights.
Well, I love it how you kept it like very simple. Like, okay, you have the Rally, like STI pink, beautiful.
Yeah.
WRX Impreza. And it really is interesting how like you could take a car that was the basis of Impreza and turn it into WRX, then turn it into STI. Like it's, I like that idea. Like every car doesn't have to start as a supercar. Like some cars can start as normal cars, you know.
So I didn't have the financial funds to buy a real STI, which is why I wanted the STI look. I got the little badges, call me fake STI, I don't care.
Right.
But the Rally spec had the 2 liters. So technically, like, it might not be STI from the factory, but I built it to be just as fast as one, if not faster.
Exactly. And on top of that, I know that this is the real, like, STI badge.
Yeah,
but
that's from the factory. I paid $50 for
$50 for that. I know, right? These badges are getting out of line. Don't even ask about the Nissan and Mitsubishi badges. They're just getting out of
sure.
They're going crazy now. But also you could say, like, if somebody really like looked at it and like, oh, it's not, it's like, well, STI does make parts for WRX too. So in a way,
all the same
yeah,
parts.
you could all like, yeah, it's not an STI from the factory, but you can still have STI parts on it,
I do have full interior.
But okay, I see you. But there's nothing back here.
No, just a couple of leaks from my hood, my trunk.
You probably lost how many pounds right here? This is what, maybe 50-pound weight reduction?
Except for the water.
Except for the water, yeah, but we're gonna get that right now. We're gonna get rid of that weight right now.
Yeah, so the WRX comes with the black carpet. The STIs come with the blue, the same blue that matches the seats.
I actually think I like the black better because it's
more quiet.
It's more quiet and it's easier to take care of.
So I got the STI door inlets and the seats, but I didn't get the back ones because they don't have the center opening. And at the time when I got them, I was still putting like my snowboard and other material through that little spot.
Okay.
The cool thing about these seats is I have heated massage seats for my chair.
Hold on, we gotta stop for a second. So this is definitely not an STI part.
Nope. It's from Brookstone.
It's from Brookstone. Okay. So how does that work? How do you have a STI seat in?
So they made those like, what do you call them? Like covers that had massagers and like a couple heating elements. And whoever had these seats before me cut up the Brookstone one, put the inserts in the actual chair.
Oh, wow.
And then rigged it up, and all I had to do was get a charger for it, and it works perfectly fine. So I have a heated massage seat.
That's actually a creative way to get heated massage seats.
Yeah.
In a STI.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. This is a very nostalgic thing when it comes to Subaru. I'm very used to this dash.
Cassette player, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I'm a baller, these came with the 6 CD changer. And my Subaru in particular has the audio package.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the 6 CD changer with the cassette, but I also got a small subwoofer under your chair.
Really?
All factory from Subaru.
Hold on, if Subaru had a factory subwoofer?
It's like 6 or 9 inches. It's like a small little speaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I never knew that. Okay. Okay. And I always loved the tape deck because, you know, Japanese companies are like, you know what, we still need a good tape in the 2000s. Like, I think even some Japanese cars still come with tape. I think a last Lexus model, I don't know if it was the LS or somebody still came with a CD or a tape player, and I was like, yeah, this is sort of crazy. Got you. They have a cup holder right here, which is an interesting thing because a lot of sports cars didn't have cup holders.
Yeah, I had to make cup holders. Yeah, I saw your video. You have one down here.
Yeah, I had to put one down here, and I had to put one right there because we didn't have cup holders.
This used to be a clock that was about yay big.
Okay.
And it was just the clock. So I replaced that with aftermarket gauges from Glow Shift. And here, I'll turn the car on for a second. So I keep them green because it matches the dash. But I got my boost gauge that shows vacuum on it, my wideband sensor, and my voltmeter. Just basic mods that any sports car really needs. That's turbocharged.
No, that's nice.
The cool thing is these ones change all different colors. There's also a setting where it blends them. Like this one goes through all the colors, and then this one slowly changes.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you can see where your peak is for any of these gauges. So my peak boost is 23 PSI.
Gauges are so interesting because I really love to see gauges in the, like, just any car really, because I feel like gauges are sort of a dying thing. Do you think Momo's steering wheel comes in the WRXs, but the STIs had STI steering wheel, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And is there any significant difference as far as feel, or is it just more of a looks?
I think it's just a look. The steering wheels, I think the exteriors for this year are the same. It's just like the centerpiece is different. And a little switch. Now, people might think this is for like NOS or something crazy. Nope, this is a whistle.
What the?
It's just an alarm. And then this helps me tune the car. So I have a green I forget what they're called, but they're like green attachment things down here. And right here, I have them spliced off. But when I flick it on, it puts the car in test mode. And I can literally change the maps to my car. Which, another custom thing I have a Cobb tuner, the V3 version.
The famous Cobb tuners.
Famous Cobb tuner for the Subarus, the Access Sport. But if you look at this one, it color matches my car. It's black Java Pearl, legitimately from Subaru. I had one of my buddies paint it for me. Dave, I don't know if you know Dave. Do you know Schaefer?
I know Dave. Yeah, Schaefer, yeah.
Yeah, he painted this for me.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I took the faceplate off one day. I don't want to break it anymore, but yeah, I took the faceplate off one day, gave it to him, he sprayed it over. And this is what I used to swap it out to my winter tune and my summer tune, my E85 and my Pump 93.
Man, some of the hardest launches that you'll ever experience.
With the heat soak right now and it being automatic, sometimes it struggles to take off.
Right.
Like right here is a lot of heat soak.
But that push in the back of your seat is nice.
First gear is real short.
Nah, first gear is really short.
No, when I go to national trails, the actual track, it will spin tires on the track. Even if I, lessen the tire pressure, just for like a quick half second, if that, it just, chirps the tires and grips.
Yeah, because, man, that all-wheel drive system, and I really love that it's not 50-50, because I think some Subarus are more like 50% of power in the front, 50 in the rear. This, like you said, was more 50.
It's 55 rear,
55 rear.
45.
And you can feel it. Like you can feel the push a little bit more than you can feel the pull.
Yeah. I'm glad you said it that way, because a long time ago in college, I did buy a daily driver Jeep, and it was Liberty, one of those, you know, box bodies from the 90s.
Right.
That flip over easy.
Right.
Def wobble and all.
Right.
Anyways, no, those, you know, they're rear-wheel drive, except for when you put it in 4x4.
Right.
And, you know, I played with it, whatever, and having it in rear-wheel drive, accelerating in that versus accelerating in all-wheel drive, it definitely feels like way different.
Yeah, way different.
Car mechanics, everything, it's a way different sensation.
It definitely is.
That's a 60 right there.
Yeah, that pulls, yeah. That's a, you know, I never thought automatic in Subaru, like I just never, like who would have known?
I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's like 1,500 WRXs from 04 were made automatic.
And these automatics are pretty strong.
They're incredibly strong.
What?
They're stronger than the STI 6-speed.
What?
Yeah.
What? You would have never thought, like who would have ever known that? When I think automatic strong, I think, I don't know, Toyota. Really appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you would like to say as far as like your social media or any plans you have for the car? I know you said you're going to keep it the way it is, but is there like one or two things that you want to do soon? Or
You can follow me on Instagram, flat4driven64. It's just a generic Instagram, nothing special. Just things I do. I travel a lot. I got a food Instagram, just a blog really. I like to eat. I know I'm a skinny dude, but I love to eat. So Indulgent Flavor is the name of that one. Go check it out. Let me know if there's any food recommendations. I'll go and I'll try it and I'll give it a review.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time, yo. And yeah, man. Love the Super.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
No problem.